Hey seedlings, long time no talk. I'm here today to share with you some things that have been tickling my noodle lately. Oh, that sounds weird. This week I'm here to share with you 4 things that I have found uber helpful to me, and I've categorized them into money, mind, beauty, and brains. Every Thursday I water my plants, and on my calendar the item is weekly watering. I thought that was super cute actually, and so I'm gonna call this segment Weekly Watering, where I share with you seedlings the media that I consume, the books or the products that I think water the odds for you to have a better life, whether that's more mindfulness, more energy, more productivity, and just more positivity, vibes. So first up, we have money. For my money recommendation, I want to talk about a podcast called Afford Anything. The host, Paula Pant, has a catchphrase, and that is, you can afford anything, but not everything. I think it's so awesome that she makes this podcast for people who are typically young or early mid-career types who don't really know what to do with the money that they have, that they're trying to save or that they have left over, or for young people starting out in their careers and don't know how to invest their money. If you are absolutely brand spanking new to financial literacy and you don't know what a 401k is, a Roth IRA, or index funds, then maybe you could stand to benefit by Googling those things or YouTubing some videos about it beforehand. But the Afford Anything podcast is a great resource if you are looking to buy a house hack, invest in real estate, look into the best investment strategies for your money, as small or large as that amount is on a month-to-month basis. Now there's one episode in particular I want to recommend, and that is the one about the middle finger project. This is absolutely beginner friendly because it's not one of those episodes where it's about specific investing tips, but rather an interview with a woman who has gone through the ringer of life. I thought it was so amazing to just listen to somebody with great storytelling ability talk about hardships, resilience, and how she really strived to be part of the middle class, landed in the middle class, and then realized what was so incredibly wrong with it. I'll just leave it at that, but if you are interested in a story of an underdog, a woman, and somebody who just against all odds made a life for herself, I highly recommend the episode about the Middle Finger Project and the Afford Anything podcast in general if you are interested in money and protecting your coin. Okay, the second thing is mind. I want to recommend a book called Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. I was recommended this book from my partner James, and he read this book I think twice in a row because it was just so impactful in his life. I noticed the change in James when he was reading this book to a more calm, more productive, and just altogether more at peace individual. And I thought, wow, I should really crack that thing open. As I listened to the book, I kid you not, I was more compelled to meditate than ever. I also found a lot of beauty, peace, and joy in everyday life. So if you are having a pretty decent life or even a good life, but you could stand to kind of slow down, smell the roses, or just understand how absolutely beautiful and perfect things already are, this book is a must read. I also think that for those of you who have tried meditation and really want to get into meditation but keep falling off the bandwagon, this book is a really great guide into why one would meditate, what constitutes meditating, and how accessible it is in just every facet of every day. I'm looking at my computer right here because I saved this graphic from the book that lists things that constitute the monkey mind versus things that are the monk mind. If you are ruled by the monkey mind, you might be complaining, comparing, and criticizing often, controlled by anger, worry, multitasking, and a bit self-centered. When you have the monk mind, you're thinking about the long-term gain of your actions. You're also working on your self-care. You're thinking about service. And life is full of meaning and generosity and genuine solutions. I feel like these two lists are definitely how I am naturally versus the person I want to be. And if you resonate with aspects of the monkey mind, which I think we all do and is only natural, then I would give this book a listen. The author narrates the book on Audible, and I highly recommend that. I had to go run to get my next recommendation, which is on the topic of beauty. It's getting sunny, it's getting hot, the masks are coming off, the vaccines are coming in. People are out and about, and if you are getting exposed to the sun, or even if you are sitting inside all day but next to a window, you really ought to be wearing sunscreen. I have a previous video on the sunscreens that I recommend, and I think I have sunscreen references in another video I made. I also have multiple requests to do a makeup video, which I will definitely get to next. But on top of your sunscreen, what I'm highly recommending you look into is like a tinted moisturizer with sunscreen. I use these two in my daily life, and this one is the Tarte BB Tinted Treatment Primer. It has SPF 30 and is broad spectrum. I believe the active ingredients are titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, meaning that this is a physical sunscreen, and if you generally are allergic to chemical sunscreens, it's not going to be a problem. This comes on super duper matte and just like silky. So I really love it. Tinted moisturizer is a way to add some sunscreen to your face in the morning that's really sheer. It provides a little bit of coverage, and it's basically my form of foundation. This BB cream from Tarte is in the shade Light, and I think it kind of matches my skin tone, except that it is warmer than my skin tone, but that's kind of the best I can do. Typically what you see when I record YouTube videos is just this BB cream on my face. Now, if I'm out, I have this in my wallet, which is the Shiseido UV Protective Stick Foundation. It's in broad spectrum SPF 37 and is water resistant for 80 minutes. This little guy is awesome. There is a fragrance to almost everything Shiseido, and it's like a really familiar fragrance to me because my mom used Shiseido and continues to use Shiseido. So I leave it in my purse, and if I'm out and about and I, haven't replenished my sunscreen in more than 2 hours, then all I have to do is like apply this stick foundation to my cheeks or any other areas like my nose and my chin and my forehead, and then rub it in. Again, it's pretty sheer and great for on the go. You'll notice that the SPF in both of these types of products is pretty low. This one's SPF 30 and this one's SPF 37. So I don't recommend that you use this exclusively without another sunscreen underneath. It provides a little bit of coverage with additional sun protection, and I just cannot stress enough the importance of sunscreen as you are out and about this summer. Money, mind, beauty, brains. Okay, brains. I think I was gonna do the book for this. I have to look at my notebook. Hold on. I completely forgot the topic for today's video. I'm sorry. Oh yes, okay. My fourth recommendation this week regarding enriching your brain is to do with habit pairing. So we all know what a habit is. It's something that you do that is part of your autopilot, and you can have good habits or you can have bad habits. Well, habit pairing is the art of taking a habit you already have, presumably a good one, and pairing it with a habit that you want to form. So for example, every night I go to sleep, right? I get ready for bed and then I lay in the bed to sleep. That habit that I have, which is just one of the most basic rudimentary habit examples, I have recently paired with squeezing in an ab exercise. So after I brush my teeth and before I get into the bed, there is literally a geographical distance between the sink and the bed, and in between that distance, I lay on the floor and I squeeze in an ab exercise. I know this sounds kind of like a lot of energy for the middle of the night, but all I do is like a moderate ab exercise for myself, and this is gonna vary across people, but for me, that's something like 36 leg lifts or 72 bicycle crunches. I'll choose one, usually 36 leg lifts, and then just knock it out before I get into the bed. I'm not gonna lie, I sort of fell off the exercise train. Chloe Ting's just not hitting the same anymore. Another example of habit pairing in my life also has to do with exercise, because again, I need a lot of help in this department. Like, I have very low motivation to exercise these days. So when I exercise, I allow myself to watch YouTube. I love watching YouTube videos and following, like, you know, my favorite YouTubers. So I sort of save all of their videos for the week or for like the last few days, and I allow myself to watch them, but I have to be exercising at the same time. So what I do is turn on like a Chloe Ting workout on one screen or on half of the screen, and then I will allow myself to watch whatever I want on the other screen. I mute the exercise and I just kind of like look at it to copy, and then I get to like listen and watch my YouTube videos. The camera battery died, but I'm back. I think I was wrapping up my thoughts on the last item, which was about habit pairing. Another thing I could do is on my like semi-weekly grocery runs, I could listen to an educational podcast, or I could work my way through a book, and that would be my dedicated kind of like reading time. I think that in this day and age, it's really easy to like hop in the car and then just turn on the radio or turn on whatever. But if you want to set yourself up for success, you might determine what is the media that you most want to consume, and then set aside time to consume that media, rather than just watching whatever passes by on your Facebook feed or your YouTube feed. Except my videos. Please watch these. And another habit pairing trick could be that before you leave your desk for the day, like at 5 p.m. or whenever you stop working, or as you reset your home at night before the new day, to clear your surface. That way you know that when you get to work, you're gonna have a clear mind, you're not gonna have yesterday's clutter and yesterday's thoughts and questions weighing on you. One thing I can do is actually raise my desk, because I have a standing desk, to the standing position every day, so that I start off every day in the standing position, and then I only lower it if I want to or absolutely need to sit down. I think overall standing is healthier, and so I want to encourage myself to default to standing, and I'm going to pair the habit of cleaning my desk with also raising it up. So there's that. 4 of my favorite things this week for this week's weekly watering. If you liked this segment, let me know. Let me know if you liked the money, mind, beauty, or brains portion the most. And you know, I don't know if it'll matter, because I don't know what my favorite things next week will be. And if you're interested in habit pairing, I would love to hear more ideas about 2 habits that we could easily pair. And let's knock out this thing called life together and water the odds for more beauty, joy, and peace. I wish you all the best. I'll see you next week for the next week's weekly watering. Bye-bye.